good though because everyone else won't have a hard act to follow. It's all good. So, Maggie. Okay, so my presentation is Haname Kagoshima, or Kagoshima Haname. It's some lovely landscapes and happy snaps and a story of family, Haname, music, shochu, and Haname, of course, is a Japanese celebration of cherry blossom time. Kagoshima is both a prefecture and a city in the southern island of Kyushu. And it's kind of the hippy-dippy, freewheeling part of Japan, gorgeous coastline. This is Mount Kaiman in Ibuski. Actually, it's also known as Satsuma Fuji, because it looks like Mount Fuji. Oh, and here are my hippy-dippy, lovely daughters-in-law. Harumi on the left and Yuko on the right. And actually we were visiting the Kirishima Open Air Art Museum. It's beautiful, and next time I will do my presentation on that. Lots of public art outdoors and a beautiful Class A gallery indoors. Yuko is married to my oldest son, Leo, and they have a son, Nikki, and he's my beautiful little grandson. He's 3.5 now. The photo is taken at the Arahira Shrine on another stunning beach. There's a lot of stunning beaches in Kagoshima Prefecture. They live in a village called Kushira on a canal. There's mountains all around, all kinds of birds, fish, geography reminiscent of the Fraser Valley. Rice fields as far as the eye can see, and actually they use their rice, they sell it to the local sushi restaurants and supply them. There's beautiful old-style homes with sculptured landscaping. There's a wonderful sense of community, and everyone knows that I am Leo's mom in Kushira. Mind you, everyone knows Leo in Kushira as well. We did a local Haname gathering there. Oh, and there's some thinking and drinking going on, and PechaKucha is about thinking and drinking and sharing ideas of design. This is my son Jess and his wife Harumi, and they live in Kagoshima City, and it's about 90 minutes by car and ferry from Kushira. And there's Tony and I on a ferry to Kagoshima, and he's my musical and life partner. And we're on our way to Kagoshima. We've toured Japan a number of times and played music. Audiences there are fabulous. It's a great place to play. Kagoshima City's a wee bit like Vancouver, actually, in many ways. It's a beautiful port city, lovely climate, lovely ferry coming across. It's actually the sister city to Naples for those same reasons, and also because the temperament of the inhabitants. Oh, but unlike Vancouver, it's home to the active volcano Sakurajima, which was exploding on the 18th of August, and I had planned this presentation about that, but yeah, and that to them is just business as usual, so that wasn't a really big deal to them, and believe me, when I've been there, it isn't a really big deal. But back to my story of Haname. Harumi's brother had asked us to go on a Haname picnic, and so one Saturday morning we jumped into her car, we went to her brother's house, and they piled into another car, and we were joined by another group, and so we had this bit of a convoy and a flatbed truck and a crane and a digger and 2 huge trees with roof balls this big. Our first stop was a Japanese garden with ponds and waterfalls and trails and an art museum, and we walked there, and as we were walking, all of a sudden Harumi's brother is scaling a cliff, and you can see him up there. Jesse, my son, is in the middle. Jesse gave up after a while. Anyway, he was scaling this wall because he was going to a shrine to actually thank the ancestors for hunting. So we traveled, we leave that location, and then we were driving again. We're not really sure where we're going. And we go to a quarry where there are giant Buddhas, but I don't have a picture of that because it was a brief stop, but it was very interesting. We traveled further and further into the mountains of Sendai, and then stop at the roadside. Everyone piles out, and the digger gets unloaded, and the trees craned off the flatbed, and it's quite a procession, and there's Tony and Harumi's brother leading the procession, holding the trees up. And so people go and plant trees anywhere in Japan. Haname. There's an awful lot of discussion of where to plant the tree. It's quite an amusing process. And the trees actually commemorate the wedding of Jess and Haruni. And the other tree is for the retirement of the fellow who owns the digger. And he's a big guy in the community. During Haname, folks go out and plant trees wherever to keep cherry trees happening. After the planting, we have this fabulous picnic, and Tony and I play some music, and they're so delighted that they ask us to play again that night back in the city of Kagoshima. So we go to a shrine outdoors, and there's a big fire, and shochu, lots of shochu, and so we play at this particular celebration, and then they ask us to come back and play at an indoor party, and there I am with Nikki warming up, and we're singing Sakura. And so you can imagine after a day like that, that this little young lad is pretty tired. It's been a very long day for a little boy, and it was quite a Haname adventure for us. And I'd be happy to join you in some shochu, and thank you for listening to my presentation.